I'm Kelly Russell. Welcome to Rapid Transformation Sessions. I'll be sharing tips and tools that help you navigate thoughts, emotions, relationships, and energy so you can enjoy being alive, as well as real unscripted sessions with people who want to experience a change in their lives. All sessions are shared with permission. Nothing here is performed or polished. Something happens in these sessions. Awareness deepens, perspectives shift, offering new possibilities, growth, expansion, and deep transformation, not just for the person in session, but for you. Let's begin. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rapid Transformation Sessions. Today I have Tom with me. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
And you mentioned that the challenge you were facing is feeling guilty or unworthy when good things come your way. And your desired outcome is to allow yourself to receive success. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of understanding that a little bit more. And it might be helpful to have one or two examples of ways you feel you're guilty or unworthy when something good is happening or coming to you. So there's a reason that this is standing out. Help me understand that reason.
So I think some more clarity for myself would be great. To give you some context, so I'm in the midst of a career transition right now, which I think a lot of people are. So I'm assuming this will resonate with a lot of your audience,
Mhm.
where almost all of my career over the last 12 years has been in advertising, marketing. I'm a writer, so I've been in the creative field. I mean, still am. But for the last little over a year, I've been what feels like steered into a space where I've focused more on more spiritual things. So for the last year, I've been doing a lot of teaching yoga,
Okay.
teaching meditation, and working as a personal trainer. And then combining those three things together. So now I'm getting back into job search mode because it's been nice in a lot of ways to have this year off to reorient myself, get more connected with more of the right things. But now I've got this sort of underlying just thing that feels like it's behind my head that's like I've 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 had a few interviews so far. Nothing has progressed yet. But whatever is up there and back there feels like there's it's not quite a voice, but it's more of a feeling like it's not gonna happen. And I can't seem to logic my way out of it. I can't use my conscious mind to trick my unconscious mind. And so that is the thing. Whatever that is, I described it as guilt or unworthiness when I think about getting back into the line of work that I was in and want to continue to be in.
Are you sure you want to? Maybe you're out of alignment with that. So that's why there's a block there.
Well, yeah, I am, and I've considered that might look different than, having a job and going to work and being in an office. Like, sure, it might look differently in how that comes to life. That definitely is what I want to do. Like I know that I am a creative at
Mhm.
heart for sure.
Okay.
For sure that's there in like my bones. Being a writer is one way that creativity, at least for me, is expressed. Um, but ultimately, like my favorite thing to do is make stuff. And I know that's maybe vague
Yeah, what kind of stuff?
and generalized, but um, my favorite, I guess, creative expressions are ones that when something comes to life, it makes someone go, "Oh, that is a cool idea." So all of my career in advertising, that's all we do is just come up with ideas. Client gives you a brand. Here's a new product we're launching,
Yeah.
or we're trying to rebrand this way, or we've got this thing coming out. Make this look interesting to people. And that's what I've been doing for the last year with my own practice in teaching yoga and being a personal trainer
Yeah.
is I created my own brand around that, and that's how we
Okay.
got connected on social media.
Yeah.
Um, and so when I started doing that, I thought to myself, okay, um, I'm a guy who teaches yoga. Not a lot of men do yoga. They think it's not for them,
Hmm.
which is hilarious because it was like it used to be only men that did yoga
Correct.
thousands
Yeah.
and thousands of years ago. Anyway,
Yes.
in our modern westernized version of yoga, we think of stretchy pants, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
I wanted to.
I don't want to go too far down this path because I want to get it a little bit more tightened up. So here's the question, because I'm hearing there's some advertising in your past, definitely creative, a writer. There's also this
Mhm,
ath athletic, spiritual, the yoga, the personal training, and supporting yourself and others through the body mind connection, all that.
mhm.
But it also sounds like there's this other thing, which might be, I think you mentioned product or something that you would like to create. So is that attached to the advertising, or is it a third thing? And then how do you reconcile these parts? Is there a way to combine it together? I just want to understand a little bit
Okay.
more before we start getting into the processes.
Well, I think where I was going will answer that question because
Okay.
that's what I looked at my own endeavors as a teacher and as a trainer
Yeah.
like it was advertising. And so I created a format that I call death yoga, which is doing yoga to heavy metal music
Oh my gosh.
and having a very, very intense, like it's a vinyasa inspired practice, but we're adding in a lot of calisthenics,
Yeah.
adding in a lot of like isometric body work. So I've taken things from the gym
Yeah.
and brought it into like onto the yoga mat,
Yeah.
but presenting it in a much more masculine format than what we traditionally think of, like,
Mhm.
you know, calm, ambient yoga music
Mhm.
and doing yoga in just a very like intense way. So that's kind of like bringing the things I'm doing currently and the
Yep.
things I've done in the past together into one format, into one like brand.
Mhm. So what you're getting into next, where you feel that thing behind you that is like not going to happen. What is that thing that you're working to bring to fruition? It's not the yoga, is it? Or is it that?
I mean, it really is just right now, it's just my number one like the yoga stuff and my own brand on social media that will grow on its own.
Okay.
I've grown a TikTok following to over 60,000 people before. So I know how to
Congratulations.
do that.
So maybe that's
That'll
not the
happen.
part that's not going to happen. It's something else.
Yeah, that'll happen. The thing I'm feeling stuck on right now is getting back into just having a job again. And like working as a personal trainer is nice, but it's not like it's like a part-time job. It is not enough to live
Mhm.
on right now. So
Yeah. And it could be
uh,
spun up to be that. but I
Sure.
understand there's the necessity for
Sure.
like safety, security, survival.
Yes, yes, yes.
Basic needs to need to be met. And it sounds like you're really on your way. 60,000 followers is great. And then it's like monetizing that and yeah.
Could be, yeah. And there's like, but and that I don't have any blockages about doing
Okay.
that in the
Got it.
future. Right now, it's just like the credit card bill goes up, the
Yeah.
savings go down,
You're
and
like,
they're
ah,
getting farther and farther away from each other. And I'm
yeah.
like, okay, I'm trying to like use everything I've learned over the
Hmm.
last year about staying like present
Hmm.
and like learning through this experience and um just trying to like make something happen but not try too hard and like am I
Yeah.
doing this right? Am I thinking the right things? Am I like
Mhm.
so I'm
Got
trying
it.
to do a lot without overthinking it
Yeah.
and make something happen without forcing it and be as present as possible
Mhm.
and think about the future but not worry too much about it and just trying to like find more financial stability is the number one priority right now.
Okay. And I like the way you said that. It is, I look at it like a yin and yang symbol as far as some people are
Mm,
just into manifestation where they're just kicking back. They're like, the universe will provide. I'll just wait, and sit here and visualize and it'll happen. And then some people are like, push, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. And it's like they're
yeah.
paddling upstream.
Yeah.
And we need to find that balance. It's like a dance with the universe
Hmm.
where we have inspired vision, but then and we take action on that, but it's in that balance the way that you're striving for.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to have us do is to use an acu-emotional resonance point. It's an acupoint that you'll self-administer. We're going to start with your left wrist. You'll
Okay.
go 3 fingers down from the crease of your wrist, and it's in between the two major ligaments. So this leads to your pericardium, and that is a protective layer around your heart. It's really good at releasing stress, panic, nervousness. It's really good for those that are listening that may deal with panic attacks. It's like a magic point for that. And I'm going to have you roll it counterclockwise. So you'll apply pressure inward and then little tiny circles, medium pressure, not too firm, not too soft. I'm going to
Okay.
have you roll the point for about a minute and a half, and then we'll hold even steady pressure. Yeah. And then close your eyes and just drop into your body. Start to notice any sensation that you feel. And you may feel sensation that's in a different place than where I'm having you press. And a slow, relaxed breathing pattern here. Just a nice belly breath. The belly fills up and it relaxes on the exhale. Find a slow roll of the point so that it's more self-nurturing, tuning into the heart and the chest itself, noticing any feelings there without judgment, just noticing. And now just hold steady, even pressure at that point for about 1 minute. Okay, now we'll switch to the opposite side. 3 fingers down from the crease in the wrist, in between the two ligaments in the middle. Again, little tiny circles up and around to the left and back down, going counterclockwise, up and around to the left and back down. Using your thumb usually feels nice, but whatever finger you prefer. Again, closing your eyes and feeling your body, just feeling in general. I'll do this for a few more moments. Now just hold steady, even pressure at that point. Release the points. Now, sometimes you might notice something. For example, I sometimes feel a flushing near my face going upward. Did you notice any sensations in your body as you did that? There's no wrong answer.
I noticed some, not necessarily tingling, but just sort of like a feeling of awareness on top of both of my ears
Mhm.
at first, and then it felt like it traveled down, went away for a bit, and then showed up kind of on the side of my forehead, not quite at the temple, but just on
Mhm.
like the side, like that side of the bone of the forehead, like right
Okay,
there.
great. And I noticed your breathing got a little bit smoother and softer. Did you feel that softening as well?
Yeah, I would say the breathing got slower. Yeah.
Okay. Close
Mhm.
your eyes. So we're going to set our intention, and I'll begin. We'll set our intention that we put our highest self, our wisdom self, our super conscious in charge. Those are all synonyms. Everything we do is for your best and highest overall good to get the most enjoyment, the most fulfillment out of life. And we ask to create powerful, positive, noticeable changes that are assimilated with ease and grace. And we'll add gratitude. I am grateful and thankful that we can do this together. Well, if you'd like to silently add on your own personal intention, go ahead and set that now. Once it feels complete, keep your eyes closed, but say okay. Okay. So you and I are opening up a metaphysical field of energy, like a pocket of space. We might call it a liminal space, which is like a hallway between two rooms. And in this field of energy, there is a potential to see your life, your experiences from a more panned out perspective, a more cosmic and timeless lens. And in this space, there is an opportunity to see what was previously unseen, hear the unheard. We may receive messages about the life you're creating or see visuals. And in this pocket of space, there is a potential to see new possibilities. And that allows growth, expansion, and deep transformation. Go ahead and open your eyes now. So, the first or next thing we're going to do is to balance the hemispheres of the brain. When we're in a state of stress, scientists have hooked people up to electrodes, and we find a lot of activity on one side going ping, 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 ping. So, if it's emotional, you're stuck on the right side. And then, if it's something logical, like let's say we're doing our taxes and trying to figure out mathematical equations, that might be more on the left side. So the next activity I'll guide us through is a brain gym technique that turns on both hemispheres of the brain, the creative right as well as the logical left, which allows one to see something in perhaps a different way that was unavailable before. You're going to do it by opening your hands like goalposts. You're going to lift one leg up and then tap your thigh with the opposite hand. Then release that leg back down. Then lift the other leg, tap it with the opposite hand. Like you're seated marching, marching in place. Opposite hand, opposite thigh. Now keep your chin forward and just with your eyeballs only, look up and to the right. Lock your gaze right there. And I'm going to count us down from 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looking up to the left. Everything else stays the same, just the eye gaze changes. You're doing great. Let's look to the left. 420, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just let that settle, hands to the thighs. So the right hemisphere controls the left side body movements, and it also controls that when you look up into the left. And then the left hemisphere of your brain controls the right side of your body. And also when you look up into the right. By doing that activity, you come back to balance. That's really good to use before a learning activity, before you have to do a presentation, get in front of people. If you're going into an environment that you know has a lot of energy or might be stressful, if you're going to have a tricky conversation with someone, it's really good to do this first because you get balanced super fast. It's one of the fastest ways I know. The next thing we're going to do, I nicknamed a 4x10 liminal power breath. The idea is to get into a heightened state of consciousness. It's going to be vigorous, and we're going to use 4 different cross body positions. That gets the corpus callosum talking to both hemispheres of the brain. So again, we're getting that hemispheric integration as well as creating a heightened state of consciousness. We're going to be doing 10 deep breaths in 4 different body postures, and then we're going to hold on empty for about a minute and a half. If at any time you feel a little panicked or like you need to take a sip of air, you can just go, but do your best to hold on empty. Then I'll guide us to take a great big inhale, hold the body and squeeze all the muscles, and then we'll release that. After that, we'll move into just a few-minute meditation where I'm going to ask a question and we'll see if something comes in. There's no pressure because sometimes nothing comes in, but maybe later, the next week or two, you might be doing some mundane task, going for a walk, taking a shower, doing the dishes, and this thought pops in and you're like, oh. Sometimes things come in and like it could be an inner knowing, it could be words that you see across the screen of your mind, or you hear a voice saying words. It could be song lyrics, it could be a symbol of something. So just being open to different types of information, and I'll guide us through each and every step of the way. So you're going to cross your right ankle over the left, the right wrist over the left, turn your thumbs down, interlace the fingers, put your hands in your lap, in between your thumbs. Now, for you and anybody listening, if at any time this feels inappropriate for you, if you have something going on with your blood pressure and this doesn't work for you, please be safe. You can modify, you can stop, whatever you need to do. But I'm going to guide at full force. So after we do 10 breaths, we're going to switch the arms, then we'll switch the legs, then we'll switch the arms. We're going to use the belly like a pump, an O shape for the mouth, like you're sucking in air through one of those boba straws, those big, thick straws. And you may get a little bit lightheaded. That is normal. So let's go for it. 10 deep breaths starting now. A little faster. Okay, lick your lips, swallow. Switch the crossing of the arms. Put the left wrist over the right. Interlace your fingers. Hands in the lap. 10 more deep breaths. Let's go. Lick your lips, swallow. Switch the crossing of the legs only. Let's begin. Lick your lips, swallow, switch the crossing of the arms. This is the last 10 breaths. Let's go. One more deep breath in. Exhale all of the breath out. Hold on empty. Lock your throat, but relax the muscles around that a little bit. We're holding for a minute and a half. You are hyper oxygenated. Remind your brain you have plenty of oxygen. You may feel some compression in your chest. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders down your back. Bring your awareness to your internal organs, your belly, make some space. It's like being the eye of the hurricane. Even though there is external pressure, you can create internal space. Bring your awareness down to your feet, keeping this body posture. Soften your feet, wiggle the toes a little bit. Relax your lower legs, relax your thighs. Keeping this upright posture, see if you can relax your buttocks a little bit. Drape your shoulders away from your ears. Relax your upper arms, your forearms. Keep your fingers interlaced, but relax your hands a little bit. We're getting close now. Bring your awareness up to your jaw, softening your jaw, your cheeks. Space between your brows, your forehead, every hair on your head, your ears. In a moment, we're going to take a huge breath in through the mouth, making that O shape, and then we'll hold the top of the breath and squeeze. Let's do that now. Great big inhale. Okay, hold the top of your breath and squeeze your body. Flex your ankles, pulling your toes to your shin bones. Push the oxygen up into your brain. Squeeze your calves, your thighs, your butt. Squeeze your strong core. Pull your hands against one another. Pull your shoulders down into that core. Scrunch up your face like you're tasting a sour lemon. Squeeze your hair and your ears. Tighten everything, especially your glutes and your thighs again for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Let your breath normalize. Nice work. Keep your limbs crossed, but unlace your fingertips. So it's just one wrist resting over the other. Close your eyes, and with your eyelids closed, just with your eyeballs, look up 20 degrees. That is about eyebrow height. That helps you get into an alpha brain state. That is the bridge between your subconscious and your conscious mind. That helps with intuition, meditation, deep relaxation. Continue to look up for about 30 more seconds. Now allow your eyes to relax in their sockets. Now, for those that are listening, we all go through blocks in our lives as well, struggles, challenges. I'm sure you have one in your life too. So you can ask yourself this question. And for Tom, the block of feeling like it's not going to happen, there's something kind of looming behind you that's creating a block for you. We're going to put your highest self, wisdom self, superconscious in charge and ask this question. What is it that you need to see or hear or know or understand about that block? What is it that you need to see or hear or know or understand about that block? We're going to wait for a 3-minute meditation and just see what comes in. Going into receiving mode. You're not looking for an answer. You're waiting to see if something pops in. I'll let you know when the 3 minutes is up. One more minute. Okay. Go ahead and open your eyes. If you would like to grab water, if you have water nearby, you can take a drink. And as I mentioned before, no stress or worries or pressure. Did anything happen to pop in?
Yeah.
What came in?
Uh, so I just kept repeating the question in my mind, slowly, patiently, like you said, and without expectation. I just held it there and would say it to myself in my mind. And then if nothing came through, just say it again. Um, what do I need to feel or know or understand, whatever, about
Yeah.
this thing? What came through eventually was that it's it's me that's holding this there. It was like the visual that came through was like holding on to a kite, and there's a string that's coming from my hand, and it's going back here.
Mm.
But up here, it's not like a kite, it's like a cloud,
Okay.
like a dark cloud sitting right here.
Okay.
But the only reason it's there is because I'm the one holding on to it. So then I thought, oh shit, okay. All right, that's okay. Got it. So then it was okay. And then I kind of repeated the question for that. What do I need to see or whatever? Sorry, I can't
Yeah,
remember.
no, see, hear, know, or understand.
See,
Yeah.
see, hear, know, or understand about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I'm holding on to it, that means I can let it go. If I let that go, is that okay? And am I or would I be okay? So maybe, so that's as far as I got
Perfect. That's
was to
beautiful.
that new question.
That's amazing. I saw a meme one time of a little boy with his head in a puddle with a rain boot over his head in the first image. And then the next image was his own hand was in the boot. And it was like, this is what
Ah,
enlightenment can look like sometimes when you're just like, I'm doing it to myself. So
it always is, and that's so easy to forget.
I know. So the next thing we're going to do is create a new experience with that being gone, allowing yourself to receive success. And we're going to see what happens in this process.
Okay.
So, again, I will have you close your eyes. And in the beginning, with your eyelids closed, look up 20 degrees.
Sorry, can I write this down first?
Yeah,
I've got my notes here and I want to write
sure.
that down
Or
before I forget. Sorry.
we'll have it recorded.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. Sorry, we can go.
Cool. Okay. Close your eyes.
Okay.
And with your eyelids closed, look up 20 degrees. Again, helping to get into that alpha brain state. While you're doing that, I'm going to envision that we're in a white liminal space. There's no ceiling, walls, or floor. It's just a space of all possibility. Now allow your eyes to relax in the sockets. Keep your eyes closed. We're going to create three visuals where you allowing yourself to receive success is already the deal. It's already happened. And this is the new reality. It's going to be hyper specific, like a 30-second video or just like a moving photograph where you can see where you're at, who you're with, if anyone, what time of day it is. Are you indoors or outdoors? What's the circumstance? And we can project into the future, or it can be tomorrow, whatever you like. The sky is the limit. You would be surprised how many times I do this with people and it actually comes true in miraculous big ways. So think big, don't limit yourself. So I allow myself to receive success. What do you see in your life that lets you know you've achieved this? Describe to me out loud the first vision that you start to see.
I've thought about this before, and I've tried to visualize this process on my own. And the
Yeah.
first thing that comes to mind is an offer letter, like
Okay.
opening up my email
Hmm.
and seeing, congratulations, we'd like to extend you an offer, yada, 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 yada.
Beautiful. You don't have to say it out loud, but I'd like you to see the number, the the nitty-gritty of the offer you're receiving. And when you see that email, the look on your face, what do you think you would do? Would you reach out to someone and share the great news? Would you jump up and down? What would you do when you see that letter?
I've thought about this too. And in that moment, I would do nothing. I
Okay.
would I would hold in
Hmm.
the excitement, and try to hold in gratitude,
Hmm.
uh, not with an outward expression of exuberance, but with like an inward appreciation, and really just like sit there and breathe
Hmm.
and feel the feeling of the experience and feel like, uh yes, this is happening, yes, this is okay, uh like, some feelings of pride, like in a good way,
Hmm.
and
And we'll get into the feeling in a little bit, but for now, it's just the vision. And when you are having those feelings, I'm sure the expression on your face, it sounds like would be peaceful. You would be sitting there, your shoulders would probably be relaxed. So just sitting there watching yourself receive that information, seeing yourself breathe. And then we're going to let that image fade into a million particles of golden glitter. And we're going to go back to that white liminal space of all possibility. I allow myself to receive success. What else do you see in your life that lets you know you've already done it? I see myself. sometimes it's challenging because your system goes, I don't even know what that would look like. And it's a little bit like opening up your head and teasing it out and showing it what
I
that
had
type
some
of
other things come to mind.
skin.
Was I supposed to just start sharing?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
sorry.
Yeah. So let's close the eyes again and say, I see myself. So describe the scenario. Who are you with, if anyone? What are you doing? What's the circumstance? That shows you are receiving that success.
Okay. I think I'm probably at the gym
Okay.
and I get a notification on my phone. It either comes in an email or it comes in a message, a direct message on social media.
Choose one so you can
Uh,
see it. You can see it come in.
or there's also I've had this idea come through as just a random phone call that I from an unknown number that I for some reason decide to answer.
Which would be the most fun for you to play with?
I mean, the phone call is the best story for the
Let's
plot.
let's go for it. So yeah, your phone rings
My
and
phone rings.
your phone doesn't say, scam detected or whatever. So
Yeah.
you're like, okay, that's curious. You
Uh-huh.
answer, and what does this person on the other end of the line say to you?
This person is someone who I know, who I am aware of, um, who essentially says, uh, I've been watching what you've been doing. I've been following what you've been putting out there, and I want to help you do more of what you're doing because I think it is a thing that more people need. How can I help?
Beautiful. So just see yourself in the gym, answering that call, getting that message, the look on your face, the way your body posture is, where in the gym you might be standing, or what piece of equipment you might be on.
Mhm.
And then we're going to let that image fade into a million particles of golden glitter. And we go back to that white liminal space of possibility. And we're going to do just one more. Sky is the limit. I allow myself to receive success. That might be you with a team of people, you on a vacation with your family, you living anywhere you want to in the world as a result of allowing yourself to receive success. What do you see?
Okay, what I see is I see myself being somewhere in Southeast Asia, like it's Indonesia, Thailand, something like that.
Mhm.
I'm there as a in the capacity of everything I know now as a creative director and as a like yogi and personal trainer. And I'm doing some work for a brand or doing some kind of either a campaign or a content series or both, either, neither. And I'm there kind of like on location, on set, helping to shoot and create this this video project that we're making.
Can you see if there's like a large amount of people around you or just a few on
There's
location?
a there's like a production
Okay.
team. So we've got like uh talent on set. Maybe it's a class of people we're filming some stuff for. And then we've got a team of people behind the camera that are operating this production, making it happen.
Okay. Now allow that image to fade into a million particles of golden glitter. For the next part, your eyes can be open or closed. So when this is your new reality, what would you be saying to yourself in your own mind, in the way that you truly talk to yourself, your own vernacular or slang, when you allow yourself to receive success and you're like, I'm so glad I let that kite go. What would you say to yourself in your mind?
The first thought that comes to mind is, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah. And how would that feel described in one word?
Glorious. And can I tell you why it's glorious?
Sure.
Because it would make me feel like I would want to not, like, glorious in the sense of like glorifying uh deity, spirit, fill in the blank.
Hmm.
Like it would be a thing that I would recognize, like this has all happened uh because it has been like I have received like divine assistance. This is not because of me, maybe a bit, but like this is really lucky, for lack of a better word. So the word that comes to mind is glorious, in the sense of like glorifying the source from where all of that came from.
Yeah. I'd like you to draw that feeling into your body, into your physiology right here and right now. You may need to self-generate it. You may need to ask for support from God, source, universe, highest self. Show me what this feels like. And then once you're feeling it in your body, tell me where in your body you feel that the most and what does it feel like?
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. I think where I feel it is like uh right below my diaphragm. So
Like
in between like
solar plexus?
so in between the solar plexus and the sacral.
Okay. And what does it feel like right there?
It feels like the word that comes to mind is fortitude. Like it
Mm,
feels
yeah.
strong, it feels sturdy, it feels um like you know that you know that feeling right before you're about to jump off like a high dive at a pool, or
Yeah.
like jump off a cliff into like a lake, and your guts kind of feel like they flip upside down,
Yeah.
and you have to like breathe and hold it and say like, I'm still gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
You're kind of clenching, and you're a little scared, but you're also excited, and there's a thrill of bravery about it. Feels like that.
Awesome. Now, this feeling, it has its own color. What color is it? What's the first thing that pops into your mind?
Well, the first thing that popped into mind was both white and gold. I don't know if that's because of the visualizations we were doing earlier, but that's what came through.
Yeah. This feeling, it has its own shape. What shape is it?
Hmm. Kind of like a firework, where a firework isn't all one shape. Like you can see a firework, but it's a million different little shapes.
Totally.
Maybe that's because of the visualization of the gold million
Hmm.
pieces dissolving. So it came through as a firework right in here.
Nice. What temperature is that feeling?
76 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. What texture does it have? How does it feel when you touch it?
Mm. Um, feels it feels solid, but approachable, if that's a texture, in like a tactile sense. Like uh I guess it like it's not soft, but it's welcoming. I don't know. It doesn't. It feels like it doesn't have a physical texture, but like its presence is known.
Okay.
Its form is felt.
Is there any smell you would associate with this feeling? Sometimes the one just pops in.
No,
How about a taste?
no,
How about a sound?
no, nothing came through for a sound either.
Okay, open your eyes. So now we're going to try to poke holes in this goal a little bit because sometimes that makes a person feel stuck, whether conscious or subconscious.
Okay.
Can you think of any negative thing that could happen by allowing yourself to receive success? Could there be a potential downside or cost to that?
I've thought about this before too, and one thing that's come up before is being able to handle it with grace. And a lot of times, uh, people people don't act differently when they achieve some, I guess, status of like independence. Their real self just comes out more because they have to play the game less. There's fewer constraints on their true personality.
That makes sense.
And so I've thought of this like could I handle that?
Mhm.
Would I still be the me that I want to be, or would I let things go to my head and turn into someone that I maybe don't want to be?
So if you started going down that path and either somebody that you trust and value reflected that to you, or
Mhm.
you noticed it yourself, you're
Yeah.
like, I don't like this person I've become or I'm becoming. What could you do to alter that?
What always works for me is meditation. Meditation always brings me back to the right place,
Yeah.
no matter where I'm at, like up or down. Um,
So ensuring that you have a consistent practice or employing it when you notice you're like, I'm slipping. I don't like the way I'm being. I need to start meditating more, that type of thing.
both,
Okay.
both being the more consistent I am with like tuning in and staying grounded and staying grateful and staying grinding, doing the things I need to do, the better. And then it's also there as a tool whenever I need it.
Mhm. One more question around this. When you envisioned letting that kite, that dark cloud go,
Yeah.
there was a little bit like, what would happen if I did that? Or who would I be without that? So I wonder if it's some sort of like safety or security, kind of keeping you a little bit small, playing it that way. Um, what what is the fear or worry that you think keeps you from letting that kite go or had kept you from? And then how will you handle that? Like being kiteless, being without that cloud, not being the one that's holding yourself back anymore. How are you going to deal with that?
Like, what is the fear behind
If
that?
if you can touch into that a little, I don't know if it's present enough to find that, but if there's any info around that, and then, because it could be like fear of being vulnerable, fear of being exposed, fear of taking a risk, putting it all on the line, like, and then it's like if you can get to that, then it's like, well, how are you going to handle that? So do you have any inkling for what, because there was a little bit of hesitation, like, who am I without that? What happens if I let that go? It's like, oh crap,
Yeah, yeah. I think it's what I felt came through when I envisioned like letting it go
Yeah,
is that okay, this is kind of like a, a shroud, like wearing a hood. It's like
yeah,
it offers some protection.
yeah,
And so if that's gone, now you're exposed.
yeah. How are you
So
going to deal with that exposure?
I think when that's happened in the past, I did not have a regular meditation practice.
Okay.
And I think that's one thing I've learned over the last year, and maybe a decade from now, I'll look back on this last year and go, "Oh, that was why you had to go through what you went through, was to learn to learn that no matter what is happening externally, good or bad, up or down, cloud or no cloud, shroud or no shroud, as long as I'm like doing right by me and staying like internally
In alignment.
in alignment,
Mhm.
focused, then it anything else externally,
Mm.
even if it's the awesomest thing beyond my wildest dreams, is is still
Staying
just
centered. Yeah.
yeah, it's still happening out there.
Yeah.
I still need to like stay in touch with what's happening in here. And that's kind of like back to like getting a ridiculous job offer.
Hmm.
That's an example of that, of just being like, okay, sitting with that going, great,
Hmm.
let's just receive that and breathe through it. And like still, even though yes, this awesome thing happened, it's still like not getting too high or too low and just
Yeah.
uh, staying.
Equanimity.
Yeah,
Yeah. Grounded in who you are, aligned with what feels glorious and perhaps
yeah,
grounded to you, you know.
yeah,
And it's a lot like that breathing exercise where I invited you to be the eye of the hurricane, that even though there might be external pressure, like, can you open up that space inside of yourself? And whether things are being challenged or things are going amazingly, that your centeredness is what doesn't waffle, that you are always coming back to that sense of presence. And my next question is to create some action steps between 1 and 3 things that you can start doing right now. And it sounds like you've already given yourself the first action step is maintaining that meditation practice, that no matter what is going on around here, shroud or no shroud, that you remain in that place of grounded, peaceful presence. How does that sound? And if so, like, are you already doing that right now, or do you need to start adding that back into your calendar?
um I don't have it in a calendar, but yeah, it's been steady lately.
Okay.
But I do like the idea of formalizing one to three, like, or three things, um and writing those down and
Mhm.
being more conscious of whatever they end up being,
Okay. So meditation would be one.
for
What
sure.
what would be something else that you could do to right now in the next day or two
Okay.
allow yourself to receive success?
Mm. Is it like allow myself to receive or allow myself to feel like I can receive, or is that the same thing?
Well, what would be a bridge into your real life? Because we can create a shift in your energy, a change in your brain, neurons. We can change your nervous system around this, but then you actually have to bridge it into your life.
Mhm.
Um, we talked about the yin and yang symbol between just sitting back, manifesting, and actually taking action, right? So this is like that balance of now, okay, now how do I bring this into my life? How do I take action on this? Or if you're the one blocking that from happening, it's like, what's something that you can actually do to release the block? And perhaps maybe we already have.
I think, okay, that's a great way to think about it because meditation feels more like it's still action, but it's a more passive action where it's just kind of attunement. Then there's actually taking action and doing things.
Yeah,
So there are some things that I can do, some action steps I can take on a daily consistent basis. So right now, what I've been doing is committing myself to like even though I've done some interviews, I'm waiting to hear back from four different places right now. I've
yeah,
had at least a first round interview at four different companies.
yeah.
But it was Christmas and then New Year's, and so I'm like, you know, just accepting that things are kind of ramping back up now. Um, but in the meantime, I've committed myself to keep looking. So
Good idea.
yeah, so I'm still
Yeah, like don't wait. Don't wait. Keep
yeah,
moving. Yeah,
yep. So I still have committed to looking on LinkedIn and applying to at least three new jobs per day.
great.
And I've been doing that in January so far. I'm keeping a running total, so I'm at 17 so far.
Great.
And that kind of just gives me some confidence in the back of my mind of a little bit of a feeling of like deservingness of
Hmm.
like I am doing everything I can, and so that it's okay for opportunity to come my way because
Hmm.
I'm doing I think everything I can.
Yeah.
I could maybe do more, but
It, there might be reaching back to those four places too. I've had people that I worked with that, I advise them to reach out again, and some of them have got the job because they said, "You're the only one that reached back out to us." So showing that you're interested, saying,
that's
you
yeah,
know, this is where we're at. I really enjoyed meeting you, the team. I want you to know how excited I am about this opportunity. These are my ideas. I want to hit the ground running. This is what my plans are, and they might see that and go, okay, this guy is serious and he really wants it, and that can be powerful.
yeah,
I'd like to give you one more activity that you can do later. I would recommend either doing an Epsom salt bath with 2 cups of Epsom salt, getting the
okay,
room really dark, or just a little meditation on this. Sitting in a whole brain posture, whether in the bath or sitting down on the ground where you're crossing one ankle in front of the other, doesn't matter which, one wrist over the other, doesn't matter which. If you like, you can interlace your fingers, put your hands in your lap, and then closing your eyes. And I'd like you to envision casting out a net of potential work situations that would be primed and ready and excited by what you have to offer and would raise their hand to you. I look at it like this metaphysical net, like this pixelated quantum field that you're opening up.
yeah,
And universe already knows about your amazing skill set, your unique offering, what you can rock the house on. And you're inviting potential companies, individuals, businesses into that field that will raise their hand to what you're offering. And so that's a little bit more into like the receiving, almost sending like it's almost sending a broadcast message out that you are ready and open to receiving that.
okay, cool.
And that's where we'll end today. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that something we talked about, some activity we did, an exercise we did, spurred some insight, inspiration, block removal for you as well. And Tom, thank you for being willing to share your experience with everyone.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great.
Great. Have a great day, everyone.